I get the feeling that if you're mad at someone, they know why.
Yeah, I think you could be right on that.
Okay.
And it's also from coming up with talking about religion, growing up in an Irish Catholic family.
Okay.
Roman Catholic.
Yeah.
Not a good liver anywhere in the, and so
Not a good liver.
no. And you had to speak up to survive, and I was the youngest.
Yeah.
So yes, coming from the East, coming from a very funny family.
Yeah.
You had to, and being the youngest.
There's something about the bitterness of the Northeast part of the country, not Buffalo, the Boston, New York. I don't know if it's just so cold or whatever, but there's this biting humor that comes, and I think it's from those cold biting winters where it just hurts your skin to exist.
Yeah.
But you guys it's part of the reason I love my wife is she's so direct, and her mom is so direct.
Yeah.
They also grew up Catholic.
Yeah.
And East Coast Italian. East Coast like that. Sicilian blood in them. And just.
So, but you two are together.
Somehow it worked out.
Yeah.
Now I've got the Scottish background.
So what are the Scots like? What are they like? They're jovial. They're jovial.
I've always been told that the difference between a Scottish wedding and a Scottish funeral is one less drunk person. So.
Okay.
Welcome back to Finding Faith in Funny. My name is Chase. I'm the host of this show. This is the podcast where we explore what role sense of humor plays in our lives, our struggles, and sometimes even our faith. Today's guest is Priscilla Ivimey. She's a 75-year-old stand-up comedian who started comedy at age 72, which honestly gives me hope because at almost 40 years old, I stretch wrong and I need to sit down for 20 minutes. Just this last week, I crashed my e-bike and I'm almost 40 years old and I've realized I am no longer young. I tried to help the environment, and the environment said, F you. I'm at that age where I can understand that exercise is stupid and the environment deserves to die. So I'm done with my e-bike, and now I'm going to get a Hummer. Even what happened at the doctor, he had to double check the x-rays just to make sure my wrist really wasn't broken. And when he told me it was just a bad sprain, he said, man, probably would have just been better off breaking it. They don't say that to a young guy. You know when a sprain is worse than a break, you're old. That's when I've realized. I've always gone by my middle name. My full name is Brent Chase McPhee. And when I crashed my e-bike, Chase almost died, and Brent is almost here. Anyways, Priscilla and I recorded this interview at a public park using noise-canceling microphones, and for the first half it worked really well. Then apparently a bicycle gang decided to join our pavilion, and they decided it was the perfect place to hold a family reunion. So there are moments in the background about halfway through where the noise sounds like the Tour de France meeting at a Costco parking lot. But if you focus on the conversation, it's genuinely worth it. Priscilla is funny, sharp, honest, and full of wisdom. And apparently, between interviewing Eva a couple weeks ago, my wife last week, and now, Priscilla, I've realized I have a type, and it is not younger women. It's wisdom, which honestly is the healthiest dating pattern I've ever had and would ever have. So, please enjoy my conversation with Priscilla Ivimey. Where are you from?
Buffalo. Are we on?
Buffalo. Yeah. I'll record it, then I kind of edit it in.
Okay,
however,
good. Originally Buffalo, New York.
Really?
Yeah.
I did not know that.
Yeah.
Buffalo. So you came here to get warm.
Yeah, we grew up there and then moved to Boston and lived there. And you're right. We always came west. John and I.
Yeah.
We loved it. And every time we left, we'd say, "Why are we leaving?" And I love Utah. It's a mystery why we're here.
When did you land here?
Well, we landed actually from Scottsdale. Our first stop was Scottsdale for a few years, and we love Scottsdale.
So you came here to cool off.
We came here. Yeah, right.
Oh yeah. Anyway,
yeah.
So you landed here from Scottsdale. What brought you here though?
To Utah?
To St. George, particularly.
How does anything happen? Honestly, how does anything happen? Boston, a certain political party that we belong to, and our religion does not fit here.
No.
At all.
Okay.
But here we are.
Here you are, and you love it.
And we love it, and we've asked ourselves, how did we You know what I think?
Huh.
I think we're given assignments.
Okay.
And this is our assignment here. We love Utah.
Good. I'm glad. I'm very curious. My wife's from Pittsburgh.
Oh, yeah.
And then her whole family, I think
like
on her
Buffalo.
mom's side, ended up here in St. George. Like she came out first to go to school, and her mom and sisters fell in love with Tuacahn, and they all moved out here.
Oh, cool.
Her dad and stepmom and that side of the family still is back east. But I'm just curious how people end up in St. George, Utah, because so many people haven't heard of it.
I know it.
And then once they get here, they're like, wow.
Wow. And you do wonder why you're here, which is a good wonder. Where are you from originally?
I grew up in Salt Lake.
Oh, yeah.
But my grandparents had a condo down here. So I spent every year coming down here 3 or 4 times a year. This was always my goal to live here. So,
nice. Oh, wonderful.
Now, I served a Mormon mission in New York City. So I got a little bit cultured, got a little bit more cultured going from Holiday, Utah to the Bronx, New York.
Huge difference.
Huge. Okay, but you said you moved here and your culture, your religion don't fit in here. No. But you moved from Buffalo to Boston, and sports-wise, that doesn't fit either. No, competitors. And we paid attention. We were young then. We paid attention to the sports and the basketball and the Celtics and all that. So you're not afraid to go somewhere where you might not fit in?
No, I'm not.
That's probably a good growing experience.
Yeah. Okay. At this point in my life, maybe younger, I was a little hesitant. I would have been. Now, not at all.
Okay.
Not at all.
That's the wisdom of you knowing that it's okay.
Well, that's a comic thing, too. If we can get up on a stage and be vulnerable, that's awesome.
Okay. So how old were you when you first got on stage?
Let's see, 75.
75. Okay, so
75.
Did you start comedy for laughs or just to be able to finally say things out loud that you've been keeping inside of you?
Good question. Good answers. I'll tell you exactly. And I don't know if we had this conversation.
I don't know.
Okay. Yeah. Well,
that's why I wanted to talk to you, because we've had little conversations.
Yes, we did.
But I've never just got to sit down and talk with you.
And I feel a connection, because when you hear this story, if I have already told you, excuse me, but was taking a walk in Sun River all by myself at 6 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah.
And I heard my name called, Priscilla. I turned around, Chase, and there was nobody there. And I thought, okay, I'm finally hearing voices.
Yeah.
So I just kept walking, undisturbed by it. 2 steps, and this is the gospel's truth as I can recall it.
Okay.
Heard Priscilla. Now I had to pay attention then. Turned around, nobody there. And I'm telling you, I heard as clear as I can see your face, find your talent and use it to make the world a better place.
Wow. That's amazing.
Okay, number 1, it was talent. Yeah, not talents, whatever the voice.
Yeah.
I had a talent. So I stopped in that moment, Chase, and I said, what's my talent? What's my talent? Not questioning, I'm hearing voices. I had to respond to the voice. And I thought, I know I'm funny. How do I use that? I know I'm being told.
Yeah.
Do stand-up comedy. In that moment, went home and never looked back.
So how did you find an open mic, or how did you find Eva? Like, how did you find?
Yeah, great question. Yeah. So that if anybody else is hearing voices, what I did is I knew I had an assignment.
Okay.
And I maintained a passion for fulfilling that assignment. I went right home, started writing comedy, started reading books, read a lot of books on comedy, stand-up, and took a course from our dear friend, Eva.
So you found her course.
I found her at ICL.
Okay.
And I dove right in, and it was a love affair right there. She's remarkable.
I did her episode last week. So...
Oh, cool.
And now it was a little bit different because she's so hard of hearing.
Yeah.
I text her the questions, she answered, and then after each question, I played one of her bits with her permission.
Oh, cool.
And just being able even to read her insight was awesome. So I knew you and Eva had a connection. I wasn't sure how it all.
And that's how, and I still see you when we do open mics at various, trust me, various and the sundry places.
That's what I love, is because open mics are not usually at great family affair places. So if it's at, the one and only dive bar in town, and you and Eva come in and you're the best ones, you're the only ones not using the profanity and everything, and everyone loves you guys, and I'm fascinated by that.
That's so cool. That's so cool, and that is Eva. We hope they love us, and this is who we are, and we look at each other and we laugh and we love, and we do our stuff, and And then the boys get up and do their stuff.
Well, I always have to pretend like my dad or my bishop's going to hear what I say.
Well, good.
And also, I've got a 4-year-old, a 6-year-old. I don't want to ever have to explain why So I've tried. I don't know if clean's the right way, but I don't want to be embarrassed if they hear something that I said.
Yeah.
But that's not to say I don't enjoy some of the vulgar comedy that I've heard.
Right.
So I remember the first time I met you was at the social district, the first open mic there, because Eva and Lieto and you were all there. And I was impressed with you because you just had confidence. And anytime I've asked you if you've been nervous before you go on stage, you've always said no.
I'm numb, maybe. I don't know what it is.
I think it's a superpower because I am terrified. I have to take like an hour and a half walk just to calm my nerves. I don't eat. And before I get to the venue, I've already stressed the whole day about it.
It's so funny.
And then there's people like you, like my one comedian friend, Rodney Norman. I asked him, because he's been doing it a long time, and he asked me before I was opening for him, "Are you nervous?" I said, "Yeah." "You?" And he goes, "I haven't been nervous since 2002. I was just like, okay, good for him. And good for you.
Yeah.
But I got up after you guys, and I tried to riff some sort of joke about being parents, and I tried to pick you out of the crowd, and you mentioned you didn't have kids, and I felt like I just shoved my foot in my mouth. And I felt,
baby boy.
But then I got to know you, and I was like, okay, this was okay.
Well, that's nice. Well, that's very cool to mention that now.
Yeah.
Very cool. I do remember a meeting, and I think it's very funny how nervous you get.
Even for that.
Yeah.
A little room like that.
Yeah. And I think for me, and it's not that I'll get nervous asking my dentist if my teeth are going to fall out because of some procedure she did. I'll be nervous about that and fret about that, but I can get up on a stage. And I'll tell you why, friend. It's because I see what I'm doing as an assignment. It's this, I'm not driven by money because I'm not making any. It's costing me. I mean, it's costing me essentially.
It costs everyone, if you're honest.
And so, right now it's fun, and I feel like I'm doing an assignment. But I do remember you. What I remember from that with you is you got up. You taught me something. You said I'm going to kill this. You likened yourself to a character on television that you seem to look like.
Yeah.
Do you know that?
So I have different variations of it. The most popular one I get away with saying is I'm a mix as if Napoleon Dynamite had a baby with Ray Romano.
Bingo.
Yeah.
Bingo. And I thought that was hysterical. And though what it was my introduction into the importance of being vulnerable when we get up on that stage.
Yeah. My intro to just honesty works on stage. Like the crowd knows embellishment, and they'll allow embellishment. But if you're coming from a real place, you can get away with a lot, and they'll go with you because everyone's embarrassed by something. Everyone.
Yep.
And when someone goes up and says, "Yep, this is me.
This is me.
What are you going to do about it?"
Yep.
You're listening to me talk. And so it's a powerful thing.
It's and the audience loves it.
Oh yeah.
They love it, and I love it that they love it. And that's why I lead with being 78 years old.
Yeah.
I make a comment about physical, I won't go into it, things that happen at 78, but this is who I am.
Yeah. Well, okay, so have you seen the guys who do Comedy Church?
No.
Okay. It's not an anti-religion show, but they make fun of religious things. It's two guys with two different religious backgrounds.
Cool.
One was a evangelical pastor.
Okay.
Like he went to BYU for the hope of converting Mormons away. And in the process, converted himself away from his own faith, atheist. His co-host, Adam, who...
He's an atheist now?
He's an atheist now. Adam grew up Mormon, went on mission. Now he's an atheist. So the two atheists, hilarious. They go around all across the country. They invite people to come on, and you do like 10 minutes about humor. So I've known Greg and Adam since I started in 2016 and always gotten along with them. They invited me to do a show here. They introduced me, and I was like, sure. They thought I was also had left the church. Not really, but still active. So I thought, okay. So I'm waiting in the back room, and I'm listening to their introduction, and it is just making fun of everything I stand for, which is fine. But I'm like, there's not a Mormon in this crowd, maybe one or two. and they're cheering about these. And I go, okay, how do I do this? Because clearly I'm not supposed to be on this show. And
But here you are.
it dawned on me, like, go out there and tell them exactly who you are.
Mhm,
And so I stood up and just said, yep, I'm the only Mormon here, kind of playing my foot. And it's probably the best thing I could have done because the crowd also senses weakness. And it's like, yeah, I'm not scared to tell you what I am.
Yeah.
That vulnerability.
Cool. That's a great story.
Yeah.
That's a great story, staying with your vulnerability.
And it turned out to be a good experience all the way around.
That's wonderful. That's wonderful.
Okay, so being from the East Coast, I probably know the answer to this question. You've always probably felt comfortable saying what you want anyway.
Yeah.
Maybe not into a microphone, but I get the feeling that if you're mad at someone, they know why.
Yeah. I think you could be right on that.
Okay.
And it's also from coming up with talking about religion, growing up in an Irish Catholic family.
Okay.
Roman Catholic.
Yeah.
Not a good liver anywhere in the, and so
not a good liver.
No. And you had to speak up to survive, and I was the youngest.
Yeah.
So yes, coming from the East, coming from a very funny family.
Yeah.
You had to, and being the youngest.
There's something about the bitterness of the Northeast part of the country, not Buffalo, the Boston, New York. I don't know if it's just so cold or whatever, but there's this biting humor that comes, and I think it's from those cold biting winters where it just hurts your skin to exist.
Yeah.
But you guys have, it's part of the reason I love my wife is she's so direct, and her mom is so direct.
Yeah.
They also grew up Catholic.
Yeah.
And East Coast Italian, East Coast like the Sicilian blood in them, and just.
So, but you two are together.
Somehow it worked out.
Yeah.
Now I've got the Scottish background.
So what are the Scots like? What are they like? They're jovial. They're jovial.
I've always been told that the difference between a Scottish wedding and a Scottish funeral is one less drunk person. So that's kind of my ancestors. So
okay, I understand that.
My ancestors had a bounty out on their name. The McPhees in the ancient Scotland. They used to have an event. They called it Bag o' McPhee in the island of Colonsay, where we're from. That we were just such a-holes that the king said, I will pay you to kill a McPhee. That's why there's so many different spellings of McPhee. Oh, they had to change it. They're like, hey, we're not the ones. Yeah. I used to do a joke about it, how like when you go to the beach and you see like a sandcastle, and you see a father and son, a different one, like knock the sandcastle down. That's what we did, but the actual castles. We got
Chase, my respect for you just went up so high to hear that ancestry story. That's so cool.
That was my dad's job. He worked for Family Search for a while, so he found a lot of information about our stuff, and that's been fascinating to learn about. Which I never thought I would be interested, but now I've got relatives I can't wait to meet on the other side. So.
Wow, that's awesome. That reminds me of I think we had a chat at the electric company about the spirituality of laughter. And I remember talking to you about that and how I'm just smitten with that.
Yeah.
Smitten with it.
Well, that's why I wanted you on here. It's because of that conversation. It's because I think they intertwine with each other.
Absolutely. And we're not new on this. I thought, oh, brilliant. Chase and I got it.
Yeah.
We're trendsetters. We're trendsetters. And then it's been something that's been studied for a long time. This connection, the vibration of laughter, the spirituality of it all. So I'm smitten by that. Oh, that's for real.
So have your friends or family, they're supportive of your comedy journey, or do they just prefer you to play bingo?
Yeah. They prefer to drink. Let's get bingo out of the way. Right. All right. Let's start there. Quite honestly, a lot of the people, my friends, I haven't told.
Really?
And I even haven't sent them videos.
I relate to that.
Why do we do it? Are we embarrassed about something we love?
For me, it was like, if I'm going to invite someone and I do bad, I'm going to feel like I owe them an apology and then spend the rest of my life convincing them I'm better than what they saw.
Are you sure you're not Catholic?
I might have been at some point. Someone in my lineage was, I'm sure.
But so a lot of my family don't know about it. My friends, it took 2 years before I told them.
Yeah.
Now I let them come to the electric company,
I did it a whole year before I told my dad.
Yeah.
And he was out of town. And finally, I was just like, I'm going to send him a 30-second clip.
Yeah.
And he sent me a text saying, when was this? So about 2 minutes ago. He's like, was that your first time?
No, a year, Dad.
No, I'm a year in, and I wasn't going to tell anyone. I just wanted to be able to say I did it, get a couple pictures, and then it just became this obsession.
That's so interesting because we're both on that.
Well, even now, when we move and we go to a new church or we meet a new group of people, I'm very quiet about it. My wife is the one who spills it because I just I don't want to tell someone I do it and then have them be like, oh, tell us a joke.
Oh, I get that.
No.
Yes. No. Go.
Go.
I did a podcast and the person said, tell us, do you have a good joke? And I said, no. And the technician said, no.
I said, yes, I do, but it'll cost you $100 and
That's what Eva told me to say. She said, say, yeah, but you have to pay next. You have to pay for it.
You have to pay and give me...
That's funny.
Crap. Okay, so what makes you laugh the hardest? Not necessarily a joke or in life, just in life, and I guess what gets you going?
Wow. Did you like the wow, that's a really good question. I mean, I'm a kid who grew up watching the Three Stooges and Jerry Lewis and thought I was the girl with the boys watching that. But I have matured since then. I like seeing other people's vulnerability. I like to see a little sarcasm between people who love each other.
Yeah. You might like my wife, and I interviewed her. Her episode's up today.
Her what?
I interviewed my wife, and her episode came up today, and there's plenty of sarcasm.
Oh, good on her. From her. Well,
from both.
Okay.
I can't hold a candle to her when it comes to wit. She's a quick thinker, and
Did she ever do this? I mean, stand up?
She used to teach an improv class. She makes these Facebook posts that people, my friends who I've known for years, will say she's the real comedian. I said, I know, but she has no desire to get up on stage.
But to teach.
But
I need a teacher.
Improv. Yeah.
I need a teacher.
She's involved with musical theater, so she's very comfortable with the arts and the settings and all that. But she's so quick of just letting her mouth speak without thinking.
It is the East Coast.
It is.
You know what it is? It's the steel plants out there.
Yeah.
It clogs our brains, the smoke. That's very cool of your wife.
No, she's the best. So.
My husband is not funny. He is so not funny, but that's for another discussion.
But he supports you.
Oh, 100%.
What was his reaction when you came home from your walk and you're like, hey, I got to go do stand-up comedy?
You know what? You're going to meet John. You may have already met him. He probably said, oh, good. Okay. What do you need?
That's amazing.
What do you need?
See, I know me well enough to know I'm shy about what I get excited about at first, even with my wife.
Wow.
Had I not been doing it for 3 or 4 years before I met Kristen, I don't know how that would have gone.
Wow.
So I'm always curious when I interviewed Dustin, I said, what'd your wife say when you said you were going to do stand-up?
What'd you tell your wife?
And he said he didn't tell her till after the first time he did it too. And so.
Well, that's great.
So I love a supportive spouse like that. And my wife could not be more supportive. She's the best.
Yeah.
But I know myself well enough to know I would have.
That's so sweet and innocent. That's so sweet. Yeah. That's
so funny.
Yeah.
Okay, so would you say that in your journey with stand-up, because it's been 2 years, 3 years?
3 years.
Has it changed you or just revealed you even more?
It's revealed myself to myself even more.
That is relatable.
Because when I get in front of an audience, I think these people got dressed and came here to hear me or hear the rest of us.
Yeah.
It's a love affair, Chase. It's a love affair.
It is.
So I'm allowing myself to fall in love with the audience.
Yeah.
And the more I do it, I think the better I am.
I've never seen you on stage where I thought she's not having the time of her life.
You got it, brother.
And it doesn't matter what the audience has been, because I've seen you at a bistro, I've seen you at a coffee shop, I've seen you at a dive bar, I've seen you at a theater. You're the same in every single setting.
Yeah.
And at an open mic, I'll go up and just kind of do whatever, figure it out. But if it's a paid audience, I have a completely different mindset.
Yeah.
And so if I watch my videos, I know what I'm doing. But you and Eva and Ethan is really good at just
Ethan,
being him no matter what the audience is. It can be 2 people, it can be 300. He's just him with the same confidence and rhythm. And that's something I don't have. I very much adapt to the size of the room.
Yeah, cool.
And I've tried really hard to not let the energy of the crowd dictate my energy, rather go vice versa. And I think you and Ethan both have that.
That's very cool.
Okay, so the older you get, why would you say humor is so important?
The older I get, the what?
Why is humor so important the longer you live? Why is having humor in your life?
That's a really another good question. Oh my God, it's just critical now.
Yeah.
It's critical now because of where we all are. And I'm not going to bring up any specifics, but as soon as you say that, you know.
I know exactly. And everyone listening is going to know.
You know what I'm...
You can't open the phone or turn on the news without knowing exactly what the hell you're talking about.
Right. And I'm not talking about, isn't this funny? And it's... Yes, it's tragic and it's funny. It's like that tragedy and comedy together.
Yeah.
It helps me navigate that.
Yeah.
Now, I'm not always like that. If things go wrong in my life, it's not. I can't conjure up the comedy of it. But I need to lean into that a little more to survive this. What about you?
I mean, I take something like when my mom died when I was 16.
Horrible.
And I remember there was more laughs at her funeral than there were tears, just the funny stories. But even I remember the first time my dad laughed and we laughed in the days after. Those are the moments where you felt, okay, we're going to
survive.
And so on my worst moments after that, I sit here and I go, this sucks in this moment.
Yeah.
And before I go to bed tonight, I'm going to laugh about something and it's going to be okay.
That's so profound.
Well,
and then for a number of reasons. One, because it is, but also at my father's funeral, right? We're in the limousine. This is what you did. You got the big limousines. And I was 13 and I was dumbfounded. And then this man, Victor, all of a sudden, nobody knew Victor. But Victor ended up in our limousine.
Yeah.
With my right.
Yeah.
And he was, he had his challenges.
Yeah.
We didn't know him. And he started smoking. And we all laughed.
Yeah.
Same thing. And then I knew, okay, this is awful. We'll survive. Yeah. Thank you for Victor.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it's exactly the same.
I remember... So you go to the funeral, whatever, go to the graveside, do the thing, we leave. And I needed to go for a drive that night after the funeral because it was like, okay, tomorrow I got to go back to school. Life has to start continuing. Now that the funeral's done, life has to start. I can't sit. So I drove past the cemetery and I've told this story on stage a few times. My mom we used to do this thing called tater wing, where she baked baked potatoes. She'd bake extras, and the extras we'd go hurl at our friends' houses at night as a family. Okay, this was widely known in our neighborhood.
Did she know you did that with the baked potatoes?
That was her idea. No, she threw the first potato. The first time it happened, I think I was 7.
This explains a lot.
Oh, totally. So when I was 7 years old, she brought the whole family outside. She handed all of us a potato. And our neighbor across the street had like one of those tin carports.
Yeah.
The rain hits and it's echo. And she said, first one to make it on the roof wins. And that started this tradition. Anytime there was baked potatoes, we knew exactly whose house we were going to go hit.
Good on you.
And so all of her friends knew, our neighborhood knew, if potatoes were in your yard, Lisa came by. So I go by the cemetery the night the night of the funeral. And someone had taken baked potatoes and made a big heart shape across her thing. We found out who did it, but that humor, again, I was just like, she doesn't want me to mope here.
No.
And it's time to go throw a potato in whatever sense of the word.
And if you believe in whatever, if she is, she must be so happy watching her son. Being nervous, getting up on stage and all that you're doing.
She always told me to make people laugh. And so subconsciously, I think that kind of stuck with me. And so when I was 20, I was 26 the first open mic I did. And so I was just...
Yeah.
But yeah, so there's a few stories I'm working on telling about her, just the shock
That's lovely.
value.
That's lovely.
So
The best thing relative to my stand-up that my mom told me is when I would come to her and crying about what all the older sibs did to me, and they were nasty.
Were you the youngest child?
Youngest.
Oh.
Yeah. Anyway, and she would say, Priscilla, if you can't take it, don't dish it out.
Oh.
And that may not sound mothering,
No.
but it thickened me up a bit.
There's some adults who need that advice.
Yeah, right.
They might be running our country.
Right.
But...
Yes, they are. Oh, that's so sad, but true. Yeah, you're 100% right.
Yeah. Okay. The last question I was going to ask you is, if you had to give life advice for younger people who struggle with either humor or faith or both.
Or what?
For younger people who struggle with faith or humor, what's your life advice to them? Anyone who's questioning faith or having a hard time laughing right now, what's your advice?
Well, it's interesting because you said if you were talking to a younger person.
Yeah.
I don't know what I would say to a younger person, but I do know what I would say if I can switch your... Right, I do know what I would say to an older person.
Okay.
If not now, when?
Yeah.
When are we going to laugh, and when are we going to have to talk to each other and learn how to laugh again?
Yeah.
That's what because older people, oh my God.
Yeah.
Half dead.
Well,
is that awful? That was it. You edit that out.
No, it's great. Death doesn't offer a coupon.
No.
It's and
right.
And there's no anyone could die. I have to ride my bike home after this.
I know, and I'm worried about that.
I'll make it home. But again, it's.
I was looking for a helmet.
There's one in the backpack.
Okay, thank you. Yes.
You can get a ticket
I
now
get your
without
point.
it. So even to a younger person, Kobe Bryant died in a helicopter crash. Death is going to take who it takes.
Right.
So my last memories with my mom, even though she was in the hospital for the last 6 months, she would make us laugh even with a trach down her throat and couldn't.
Wow.
And so it's just, my memories of her are all humorous of some sort. And that's what I want.
Yeah.
If people are sad at my funeral, fine. They're going to laugh at my funeral.
Yeah.
So
my
mom's, one of her wishes, a year before she died even, I don't know if she knew she was going to die. She knew she was sick. But she said, I don't want anyone to be sad at my funeral. Just everyone stand up and do the hokey pokey. Just.
Lovely.
And so a couple of weeks after the funeral, we met at a baseball field like this.
Got up.
300 people, big circle it was awesome. So again, I've told that story on stage too.
Yeah, that's a beautiful story.
So do you have any questions?
No, honey, I love this. Is in just the spirituality of laughter.
Well, I love that we can come from two different parts of the country, two different belief systems.
Amen.
We're connected with humor, and that's people are going to be connected through humor or beliefs or non-beliefs, whatever it is. So thank you for meeting me here.
Spirit wanted me to tell you that Spirit had absolutely nothing to do with the voice that told me to get involved in stand-up comedy. Thank you.
That was my conversation with the great Priscilla Ivimey. I really loved doing this interview because it's proof that it's never too late to try something new, never too late to laugh at yourself, and never too late to grow. Priscilla, again, started stand-up comedy at 72 years old. Meanwhile, some of us quit hobbies because the parking lot looked too crowded. If you enjoyed this episode, please share it with somebody who could use a laugh or just a little bit of encouragement. If you have a story, a belief, a struggle, or even just a funny perspective on life that you think would be good for this show, I would love to hear from you. I know I say it all the time. Please email me, faithandfunny@gmail.com. Whether you're religious, not religious, somewhere in the middle, confused, hopeful, struggling, healing, or just trying to survive your normal Tuesday, thank you for listening. Because at the end of the day, laughter levels the playing field, and in a pretty scary world, sometimes a 15-minute coffee break and a good laugh can help a lot. I'll see you next week on Finding Faith and Funny. Thanks for listening.